I soon realized no person on the planet couldn't imagine the pain and suffering I had to go through. I think if I'd had the choice, I would have died back in intensive care if I could, but no, I had to go through a journey not anyone could do.
I got home at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the evening. Was fanning around in the house, making phone calls because my car was on the rocks and I needed a new car. And I was in the house probably 2 hours before I went upstairs. And as I walked towards Hal's bedroom, I saw that he was laying on the floor, shaking, naked, on the floor, unconscious. And I just thought, shit, what's happened? His breathing was very laboured, freezing cold, eyes rolling in his head, shaking. We still didn't have a clue what was going on. They kept asking, has he taken anything? Has he had any sort of seizures before? And trying to get some sort of, they had no idea what was going on. So they rushed him into ICU, and then put him in an induced coma. I forget how long you're in the coma for now, a few days I suppose. And they were doing pain tests and things like that, which are vital, to see if there's any reaction from him, to see if he twitched or he trying to move himself away, and of course he couldn't. They didn't think, they said to us that he didn't know anything from the moment he had the stroke. He wouldn't remember anything from the moment he had the stroke until now. He doesn't know, he doesn't even know you're here. He wouldn't have known anything. They said that he doesn't know anything about what's happening, doesn't know what's going on. We still didn't know that he did at that point. I was sort of talking to Howard when I was doing bits and pieces, and I sort of looked at him and said, Howard, I know you're in there. I said, you can beat this fucking thing. I know I've never said the F word in front of Howard before. And his eyes stopped rolling and just fixed, stared at me and just like, shit, you swore. And he just stared at me for 5, 6, 7 seconds or so. And I thought, you're in there. You know what I'm saying. So I went back home and told Joe, sorry, I'm a bit emotional about this now. You'll find that funny. So I went back home to Joe, full of hope, really. He knows where he is. You know, he's in there, he knows. So when we came down early the next morning, we saw the consultant. And I said, are you sure that Howard, 99% sure, are you 100% sure that he knows nothing about this? He said, well, I'm 99.9% sure. I said, well, I'm sticking to that little 0.1 because I know he's in there. They started doing, can you close your eyes for so many seconds? Can you keep your eyes open for so many seconds? Which he could, of course, he understood that and started doing. And they realised, yeah, no, he knows exactly what's going on. So that was a major step. Howard has his eye gaze computer supplied by Smartbox. It picks up what they call the glint in your eye. It has 2 little cameras focusing on Howard's eyes at the bottom, which then the lens then picks up Howard's eye in the middle, and Howard moves the cursor around with his eyes, which is Howard's window to the world, really. Howard has various facial expressions and eye movements that he does to convey what he's trying to say. When Howard looks up, it means yes, and when he looks down, it means no. If his eyes go up and down quite quickly, it means I want to say something. If he does a wide-eyed thing, it means I don't know. If he's got an itch, his eyes will go from side to side, and you have to then find out where you've got on cross-eyed. If he goes cross-eyed, it's technology. You want something that he has that's technical, like his eye gaze computer, or his iPad, or his iPhone. That's basically his most of the things he does with his eyes that you need to know. The itch is an important one. Because if you can imagine you're sat and you've got an itch and you can't, you get the maybe I've got an itch and some people can't use it and they're going, what is it? And he's going, I've got an itch. Howard's mum Jo put her story, how she felt it happened to her, onto a website for Howard, and started up a website through local people. The football club that Howard played for, the owner, a guy called Jeff Lloyd, read this and was working with a guy called Neil Tregarthen. in business and showed Neil this letter that he'd read. It was so terrible. Neil decided he was going to start a trust for Howard. So he opened up a trust and said if there's any medical advances anywhere in the world, Howard will have it. So if next week there was an operation in Canada that Howard's brain could be rewired and it would cost £250,000, he'd fly Howard out there and rewire Howard's brain for him. And they've been absolutely fantastic. The trust have just been awesome. I don't know what we would have done without them. So we had no help financially from day one. They've found an FES bike which Howard's been using, which is £20,000, which works by putting electric pads onto Howard, and it makes the muscles do what they're supposed to do, and it's an exercise bike. They bought that for him. So I suppose long-term goals, that is probably the long-term goal, obviously, is to recover and have some sort of a good quality of life again, how things might have, how things were, more or less. But the short-term ones really is to get Howard back into the community, back into the Kingsbridge area, so, and back into society, really.
Basically, not moving your hands or not speaking is the biggest problem I have had. My physical test is asking my muscles to learn some things people say it can be done. I had no belief left. Now I had, so don't worry. I happened to get to the point I was gonna give up this nightmare. I would look round at the pictures of what I used to be, and now all I really have been memories helping me get forward. I'm not 17 anymore. All I had on my mind was trying out different ways to put a stop to all this, but obviously I can't with being assisted. So I put my brain to the test of finding someone. Right at the end of all that, I found out it's illegal. So finally I knew I had to just work super mega hard to pull off a miracle. Never ever take advice from pros, doctors, SLT, nurses. Just believe your views and opinions. No one knows your ambition. Like ambition now is to get better, write a book, meet a girl, have kids, and so on and so forth.